No, you actually don't own your own home, especially if you're in Cook County, Illinois. But be advised, just because you're not in Cook County, Illinois, doesn't mean this won't be coming your way sometime soon. So let's check this out. This is paw the like button, if you will. Here we got Pablo here. He and his new brother Finney just got a little bit of a spat. Finney's upstairs sulking, and Pablo's down here with me. All right. This is from WGN News, and I think they're the ones who used to have the Cubs on. They might still. Facebook or a YouTube thing from October 26, 2020. And they're chasing people out of the city. New property tax report shocks Cook County treasurer. New property tax report shocks the Cook County treasurer. Why would you be shocked? I think this house, one of these two houses, is the mayor's house right there, Lori Lightfoot, that lives with her wife. And the property tax on that guy, $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year, where it used to be like $2,500 just 20 years ago. Anyway, so they got this report right here, which we're going to go into, and everyone's blaming the taxpayers, and rightly or wrongly, but I'm going to show you what this report says. This is just freaking insane. So let's go into this. The Pappas study. Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas presents 20-year property tax history. All right. This is just freaking ugly, man. Overall, 20-year let's just go through it. We'll just read this whole thing. Homeowners and business owners in Cook County are overburdened by property taxes. That's shocking to the Cook County Treasurer, a trend that began more than 2 decades ago. Is reaching a crisis today because of the pandemic. No local government office hears daily tales of financial woe more than the Treasurer's office, where taxpayers, especially seniors, pour out their hearts to staff, along with their list of unpaid property taxes. For the first time ever, which is scary in itself, the Treasurer has created a new tool on cookcountytreasurer.com for property owners to see the 20-year change in the taxes. Enter a property address to see the taxes in 2000 compared to taxes for 2019 for all 1.7 million properties. All right, so let's go down here. All right, so let's go here. So we're going to the cookcountytreasurer.com, and you're going to see all these how-to. And this is interesting if you have anything to know. So here's the property index right here for someplace in. There was an address on here, but you can see property location right there. Chicago 60622, whatever that is, that little place right there. That little place right there has seen a 354% increase in property taxes from 2000. It used to be $3,300. Now it's $15,000. Go down here, this little suburban area. This is a suburban Cook County, and this is Chicago proper. Suburban Cook County, that used to be $3,800, and now it's $15,933. Good boy, Pablo. A 311% increase in taxes. That's in some place called Palatine. Pablo, come here. Hold on a sec. Palatine, Illinois, because we're going to go into that. Again, did we talk about Palatine? Yeah, right here. So we'll keep going down here. So you can see all kinds, summary by individual tax year, summary by tax status, paid in full. So you can see if people are delinquent. Kind of creepy, but anyway, so here you see interactive Chicago ward map. Total taxes paid in year 2000, 69 million. Total taxes paid in the year 2019, 292 million, basically. A 322% change in property tax. Interactive suburban map. Total taxes paid, this is Riverside, wherever Riverside is. Total taxes paid in 2000, 15 million. Total taxes paid in 2019, 36 million. So 127% change. So remember, City of Chicago went up 322%. Riverside went up 127%. So we're going to dive into Riverside, Palatine, Chicago. We're looking at the 3 different districts. All right. Total taxes billed all Cook County increased by basically 100%, doubled. All right, rising from $7.85 billion to $15.5 billion in 2019. Total taxes in the city of Chicago went up by 115%. Total taxes in suburban Cook County went up by 87%. All right, so these amounts are the amounts property owners are actually asked to pay, or told to pay if they want to keep their house. So you can see the increase right there. In fact, look at that, from 2007, 8, and 9, when the markets fell off, it still went up. You didn't even get a break then. Crazy. Let's keep going. I want to show you something here. Property tax, and since 2000, property taxes have increased. Hey, Finney, oh, you don't have to do that, babe. Yeah. Since 2000, property taxes have increased by 100%. Well, we already talked about that. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. So let's do this. And since 2000, property taxes have doubled. All right. However, average wages will increase by 57%. That's wages too. So a lot of people are retired. They're not increasing their wages. Cost of living has only increased by 36%. Cost of living is the average increase in consumer goods and services using the CPIU. So coal has increased by 36%. Property taxes have increased by 3 times that. Cost of living 36, wages 56. But again, if you're retired, you're not even considered going to get wage increases. And here's City of Chicago. You can see 98.6% has been the increase in property taxes, which is basically 3 times the amount of cost of living. And then they go into the various wards in Chicago. Ward 3 had an increase of 431% property tax. Ward 27, 322%. Ward 1, 200. You can see it's freaking nuts, man. All right, so then we go to cities and villages in Cook County. So let's go to Palatine if we can find it. We got Riverside and Palatine. I guess they don't do it by Riverside right there. Increased by 127% over the last 20 years. And let's see if you see Palatine on here. I'm just going to go quick cursory look here. They got a lot of different towns, so we might miss it. They don't do an alphabetical order. They just do it, okay, but we'll come back. All right, so you can see huge increases. Now here we got South Chicago Heights only increased by 45%. South Chicago, that's not a leafy hoity-toity suburb, if I'm not mistaken. Residential property tax increased 164%, and that's in Chicago property. Residential property tax increased 116% in the suburbs. Then you go to commercial. Then you go to commercial here. This is freaking crazy. Let's just keep going down. Right here, 81% increase in the Chicago property for commercial. 54% increase in the suburbs of Chicago for commercial. Isn't that weird? So we go to residential. It went up by how much? Because that's where the money is, my friends. Went up by 164% in Chicago. Commercial went up by how much? 81%. So the residential twice the increase as a commercial in Chicago. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like the commercial has more lobbying power, which they do. But again, they also recognize that we increase commercial too much, the businesses are going to flee. Kind of stuck, aren't you? All right, so let's keep going down here. You can see commercial property. I'll put a link in the show notes. All right, so I want to go into this right here. All right, taxing districts levy extended to tax bills. To examine Cook County's 558 individual taxing districts require analyzing tax levy extensions. Tax levy extensions are the amounts requested by taxing districts from property taxes. 39 taxing districts more than doubled their tax levy extension. Okay, so we're going from 2006 to 2019. Now check this out. This is freaking, so remember, Palatine, Riverside. We're going to look at those in Chicago. Cook County has 82 home rule taxing districts. 82 home rule taxing districts. What's a home rule taxing district? They don't need to obtain voter approval to increase property taxes. Home rule authority applies to only cities and villages that either have populations of more than 25,000 or whose voters elect home rule. Home rule, you do not need voter approval to increase property tax. Now, they have 476 non-home rule taxing districts whose property taxes are capped by law unless otherwise approved. So by referendum, they can approve bonds or they can raise the tax caps. Home rule, you don't need voter approval. It's crazy. And so what we see here is home rule, voter approval not needed. They had a 67% increase from 2006 to 2019 in property tax. Shocking. Non-home rule only had a 44%. So when people are not subject to voter wrath, it goes up by 30% more. Crazy. The Cook County government is one of the largest taxing districts, but has only increased its tax levy by 8% since 2016. So the Cook County itself proper was one of the largest taxes. It's basically leaving property taxes to go up to the local localities. All right, so check this out. Yellow is home rule. So let's see what we can find here. And did I say Riverdale or Riverside? I can't remember. I remember Palatine, but there's Riverdale. 161% was the increase. And again, because his home rule, which means you don't get a say in the property taxes, just some freaking bureaucrats do. And you can see red, yellow, 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 Schaumburg, Midlothian, Bridgeview. I mean, look at that, man. You can see it. Look at that. The yellow is, look at it. Schaumburg. I don't know if they weren't incorporated in 2006. I don't know, but it's gone up 17,000%. So I don't know what that's about. Obviously, there's something with 2006. But be that as it may, home rule, Midlothian went up by 478%. The home rule ones dominate the highest tax increase in authorities. Home rule, home rule. Now what's going to happen? Let's see if we can see Palatine. I'm just doing a cursory look, so I might miss it. Let's keep going down. Oak Park, Rolling Meadows, South Holland. And what you're going to see, though, if you keep going down, there's Joliet, right? And that where they got the jail and all that. So as you start going down where it's not increasing as much, it's more and less non-home rule, i.e. subject to a voter approval. So you got Oak Park Park District only went up by 67% because it's not home rule, which means the voters approve it or decline it. I guarantee you say, we need to increase taxes so our schools are more like Midlothian. I guarantee you're hearing that all over the place. Guarantee you. And so you go down here, and you can see more and more non-home rules are showing up down here in the blue because people are saying, I'm sick of paying these freaking taxes. What am I getting for it? You're getting good schools, are you? No, you're not. Just because you pay higher taxes does not mean you get lower schools. Just because you have more school spending does not mean you get higher schools. We look at Idaho versus Washington, D.C. as perfect examples of that. It's crazy. Here's Arlington Heights, only 41%. I don't know what Arlington Heights is, but you can see the blue becomes more and more on the bottom end for tax increases because people don't vote for them, man. All right, so let's keep going down. There's Winnetka only went up by 32%. And you can see look at that, the last couple are all blue for the most part. All right, so I want to keep going down here. So I want to show you something. That's history of referenda. All right, so voters can authorize bond issues. Voters can raise the tax caps. PTEL is a law restricting a non-home rule taxing district from increasing property taxes by 5% for the cost of living or whichever is lower, or 5% or the cost, whichever is lower. All right, so results of bond referendum. 67 passed, 86 failed. So 67% passed, 33% failed. All right, so then we go down here, and it gives you a thing on the bond. So check this out. Rivas Township High School District saw $45 million in bonds. 2,600 voted for it. 1,900 voted against it. Only 26.4% of the population. So what happens in these bonds? This always happens, man. This is how politics is the democratic process is dastardly. The people who most want that are going to vote for it. They're going to know when the vote is because their money is at stake. So if I'm freaking sitting there, I need more money. I'm a construction guy. I'm a principal. I need more school. All this stuff. I want to have a pay increase. I'm a teacher. They all have an incentive to get out and vote. The vast majority of people say, I'm just not paying attention. As you can see, by 74% of the population didn't even vote yet. They're going to pay for the taxes regardless. This is the part of the referendum. What happens is the people who are most interested, even if they're a small minority, they have a huge incentive to vote, where most people just say, it's just not worth it. And I tell you, that's where they get you. Results of 165 referendum to raise tax caps. Thankfully, 62% failed, 38% passed. See, a bond is so much easier. Say, all right, we're going to have a bond. And people say, yeah, I'm voting for the bond because it'll benefit my back pocket. Where most people say, I'm not that interested. And yeah, they're the ones paying for it. But when they actually say specifically, we're going to raise taxes, people say, oh, no, I don't want to do that. So you can see 62% of the tax increases failed. Again, these are non-home rule districts, only 38% passed. But check this out. And you see right here. Morton Grove sought $821,000 property tax increase. It's only going to be 10 cents on every $1,000 of your house. They keep saying that. The 2,700 voted for it, 1,600 voted against it, and only 22.9% of people actually voted in that. Results of 63 non-home rule referenda. And this is the one man, one vote, one time provision. I'm just telling you, man, check this out. Suburban taxing districts asked voters 63 times since 2000 for permission to become a home rule jurisdiction. Remember, home rule taxing districts do not need voter approval to increase property taxes. 26% of the time it passed, 74% of the time it failed. Changed to home rule since 2000. So here's probably the 47-16 that have passed. Yeah, right there, 16 that passed. There's Riverdale. I don't see Palatine in there, so I'm not sure if Palatine's already won. All right, so here's South Chicago Heights. Do you want to become a home rule? Yes. 335 said yes. 262 said no. Only 18% of the population voted, and the rest are going to be subject to increase in property taxes without being subject to taxpayer approval. That's not democracy, man. I'm sorry. So check this out. Let's go to Riverside. I thought I saw Riverside on here. Riverdale. So let's check out Riverdale. So see if we can't see Riverdale here. So look, adopted home rule. Here's Prospect Heights. 4 times they asked Prospect Heights. 4 times they said no. Here's Linwood. 7 times they asked Linwood. 6 times they said no. 1 time they said yes. And for now, they'll always forever be a home rule. All it took was 1 time. They kept coming back. They kept coming back. They kept coming back. Here's Marinette Park. 4 times they asked for home rule. 0 times they got approved. But you can see right here, all it took was 1 from Midlothian vote, but 7 times in Linwood, they finally got it passed. Now Linwood's screwed. Let's see if it shows on here. Linwood. This has changed the home rule since 2000. I'm not seeing Linwood on there. Anyway, so you can see what that, that's just at adopt home rules. Look at that. So they've had 18 referendum for adopting home rules. Only twice it passed, but now those 2 permanently fall into the home rule governing, which you have no approval on the taxpayer at all. Oh, it's crazy. Total tax bills increased by 100%. We already talked about that. Yeah, so commercial, residential property taxes billed in the city of Chicago have skyrocketed 164% over 20 years. Oh, man. How much have property taxes increased? We talked about that already. While total top property taxes have increased by 100% in all Cook County, the cost of living has only gone up by 36%. They can't. There's only so much they can do now. Now remember, Illinois itself is actually quite favorable from income tax, but they're going to get you more and more property tax. And if you live in Cook County suburbs or Chicago proper, you better know what's going on. They're going to get you, and you're going to pay more. And who's going to buy your house if you try to sell it when you're paying $20,000 a year in property taxes on a 3-bed, 2-bath ranch on a freaking 1/10 of an acre? It's crazy. Anyway, you don't own your home, man. And if you don't pay, you're going to be put out. But reverse mortgages don't put people out. Not paying your property taxes does. This is evil stuff, man. All right, we'll see you. Love to hear your comments.